Okay, let's get into this. What if everything you thought about work, maybe education and, how you get wealthy was, well, maybe incomplete? Like, what if that standard path, job security, just earning more money, isn't really the full picture for, like, financial freedom?
It's a pretty big question, isn't it? Challenges beliefs most of us have grown up with, this idea that there's one script for success.
Exactly, and that's why today we're doing a deep dive into a book that really shook things up globally, challenged all that traditional thinking. It's Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Ah, yes. A classic. Still talked about decades later.
Right.
Yeah.
Came out back in 1997. But it feels like more than just, a money book. It's really about a shift in thinking, a mindset revolution, kind of.
And what really grabs you, I think, is that unique setup he uses. This contrast between his two dads.
Yeah, the poor dad.
His actual father, highly educated, but struggled financially, right?
Mm-hmm. Versus the rich dad, his friend's dad, the entrepreneur. The one who seemed to just get how money works, but maybe not in the way schools teach it.
Exactly. It's that contrast that makes the lessons so clear.
So our mission here is to kind of pull out the core ideas for you, cut through some of the noise around it. We want to explore how Kiyosaki really pushes people to think like the wealthy.
To move beyond just getting a job and climbing that ladder.
Yeah. We'll look at his big concepts, assets versus liabilities, that whole thing. What he means by financial literacy, the entrepreneurial mindset.
It's definitely designed to spark some aha moments.
Hopefully. We want to give you a shortcut to understanding why this book made such a splash and maybe what it asks you to think about with your own finances.
What really works about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I think, is how he uses stories, his personal experiences.
Totally. It's not some dry textbook, is it? It feels more like he's just talking to you, telling you stories.
Mm-hmm.
Makes these, potentially complex ideas feel pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you don't need a finance background to get what he's saying.
Not at all.
And that accessibility, that's key to why it resonated so widely. It kind of empowers anyone, wherever they're starting from, to think differently.
Okay, so let's get into probably the most famous idea from the book.
The assets versus liabilities thing.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It trips people up because it goes against what we're usually taught, like your house,
Yeah.
biggest asset. Right?
That's the common wisdom, yeah. But Kiyosaki flips it. He basically says an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, period.
Simple, but profound when you really think about it.
And then a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket.
So that house with the mortgage or your car payment.
Under his definition, if it's costing you money every month, it's a liability.
Yeah.
It's not about the accounting definition necessarily. It's about cash flow. Does it feed you or do you feed it?
Wow. Yeah, that completely reframes how you look at everything you own. It's not just about having stuff. It's about whether that stuff is actually building your wealth or draining it.
It forces you to look beyond the price tag, right? To the actual ongoing financial impact. Is it producing income or expenses?
He's basically saying, stop buying things that cost you money and start buying things that make you money. Focus on those income-producing systems.
Exactly. Things like rental properties where the income covers more than the costs.
Or stocks that pay dividends, royalties from something you created.
Yeah, precisely. Stuff that generates cash flow to you. He argues a lot of people think they're getting richer by buying bigger houses or fancier cars.
But they're actually just digging deeper into liabilities, getting stuck in what he calls the rat race.
Working harder just to pay for the things that are costing them money.
And this ties straight into his other big point.
Yeah.
Financial literacy. It's not just nice to have. He says it's crucial. It's power.
Right. He argues that, the traditional school system prepares us really well to be employees.
To earn a paycheck.
Yeah, but maybe not so well to be investors or entrepreneurs. It doesn't always teach us how to manage money, how to make it grow.
So if school isn't teaching it, where do you learn this stuff? That's the question he poses.
And his answer is that financial success isn't just about how much you earn. That's only part of it. It's about how well you manage it, how you invest it, how you make it multiply.
He talks about needing skills in, accounting, investing.
It's understanding markets and the law. It's not just balancing your budget, though that's important too. It's understanding the bigger picture, how money moves, how investments work, market trends, legal ways to protect yourself, that kind of thing.
So it's less about the salary number itself and more about your financial intelligence with that salary.
Exactly. Which leads right into that entrepreneurial mindset he champions through the rich dad figure.
Right. It's all about ownership, isn't it? And maybe taking a bit more risk, but calculated risk. looked for opportunities.
Yeah, building multiple income streams, not just relying on the one paycheck, being proactive, looking for problems to solve, seeing opportunities where others might just see challenges.
It's a very different way of thinking about your career and how you build wealth compared to the poor dad philosophy.
And he really pushes for starting this young, teaching kids financial intelligence, building that foundation early. Imagine if that was standard in schools.
Yeah, imagine. So looking back at the book's strengths, it's definitely that accessible story format. The two dads make it super memorable.
Absolutely. It genuinely inspires that mindset shift away from just job security.
And the core lessons, they feel pretty timeless. Even though the book's, over 25 years old now, the simple language makes it easy for anyone to pick up.
Definitely. And it connects to that bigger question he keeps circling back to. Are you working for your money?
Or is your money working for you?
That's the fundamental split he highlights again and again.
So, okay, let's recap the core value here for you, the listener. What Rich Dad, Poor Dad really offers is this inspiring shift in perspective.
Right. It challenges that default job security is everything mentality.
And it gives you that powerful new definition of an asset, something putting money in your pocket. Think rentals, dividends, royalties.
Versus a liability taking money out, like that personal mortgage, the car loan, credit card debt.
It really hammers home that success isn't just the size of your paycheck,
but what you do with it, how you manage it, invest it, grow it.
Now, while it's clearly been huge for a lot of people, especially maybe beginners or those curious about business,
we should also mention its limitations, right?
Yeah, it's important. It's super motivational, uses those stories really well to simplify things.
But it's not a detailed roadmap. It doesn't give you step-by-step instructions on, say, how to buy real estate or pick stocks.
No, it's much more about the why, about changing how you think rather than a specific how-to guide.
And yeah, some financial pros have questioned the story's sort of anecdotal nature, even whether Rich Dad was a real person exactly as described.
True. But you can't really deny its impact, can you? It got millions talking and thinking about money differently, maybe for the first time. It kick-started a whole movement towards personal financial education.
Undeniably. And that famous quote kind of sums it up. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them.
This whole deep dive really helps you see what he means by that difference.
So, the final thought to leave you with.
As you go forward from here, what's maybe one small step, one immediate thing you could do to start shifting your mindset, not just about earning, but about getting your money working for you?
Yeah, maybe look at your own situation. Is there something you own, currently a liability, that you could maybe turn into an asset somehow?
Or is there one true asset, something that genuinely generates income that you could focus on acquiring next? Something to think about.